Hello, welcome to the Colum Tyrrell Podcast. I was just thinking about a family that I grew up with. A poor family, not even poor with like as if they had no money, but poor in the sense that, by the way, there's like a bit of the tail end of a hurricane above the house right now, so you may or may not have some little raindrops in the background and whatnot. So please, pardon me for the weather. I grew up with this family. They're a poor family, but they weren't poor. Like the house had money. The dad had money. The dad figured out a way, even though he was a poor man, he figured out a way to get a job where he earned lots of money. And this was the family. They were the poor family. They were like, they're all always dirty. You know, the rake of kids, a rake of brothers. You know, some families just produce only boys, and I think it's a poor thing. Rich families have girls, and poor families have boys. That's sort of, I can't prove that, but you know, think about it. When have you ever heard of like every fucking school will always have the McDonald brothers, you know, they're always like some rough brothers. And then there's the rich, the cheerleaders or whatever the fucking sexy sisters are. They're from the rich family. It's a very Romeo Juliet thing, the rich family. Although I can't remember that story, I do possibly believe that Romeo was also rich in that situation, but I cannot remember the story. Anyway, poor family, dirty. You know what I mean? A bunch of brothers. Very few of them are still alive. Poor family. Often drunk, often black guys, often in trouble in school. Just a poor family. Their names were the Murphys. This was the Murphys family. And, which is, I think, the most popular name in Ireland. The Murphys. The Murphys. As Irish as can be. You know, they would have, although they had money, they still lived poor. They had a car that was a piece of shit. They had the hand-me-down clothes. They forced their kids to wear clothes that were too small for them because they had outgrown them. And I don't believe it's because it was just in their DNA to refuse spending money. They would have their kids walking in with 3/4 lengths trousers to school because they wanted to spend money on Heineken's. The Murphys, by the way, common name, that's a poor person trait. Just so any name that's common, poor people. Rich people have unique, the Epstein. How many Epsteins do you know? Rich people have Clintons. How many? Everyone rich I name is just like a pedo. Weinstein. I don't even know if Weinstein's a pedo, but you know, Weinsteins, Epsteins, Clintons, all the Obamas. These are all unique names. Murphy's common. That's poor. Rich people have unique names. The Van Wiggins and stuff. What's the name of that Jewish family that run the Rothschilds? When have you got to school with someone with a name called the Rothschilds? It's just the names. They don't have those common names. Murphy, your family's a piece of shit. And I'm sorry, black people who are also called Murphy. I'm sorry that whoever gave you your name had that name. All right. I'm sorry that's whatever it is. All right. Change it to Ali if you really want. Anyway, these are a poor family, but the kid, one of the youngest kids, Jimmy, the youngest kid, Jimmy, he could throw a stone further than anyone else. Again, the trait of a poor person. How far can you throw a stone? There's almost like a fucking proof that the further you can throw a stone, just the lower the income level of your father. I can't prove any of this. This is all gut instincts. But I was thinking about because I was watching the fucking Olympics and these people are throwing shit. You know, you got these big, huge 400-pound throwing, 400-pound men throwing the shot put, and I think little fucking Jimmy Murphy could have. No, they was never going to amount to anything. That was just it was in the Murphy family. The goal in life was to not work and have social welfare, the dole, and head down to the pub. And if you're lucky, this is not even a lie. Now that I just remember, one of the brothers, their tactic was him and his missus. They lived together. They're both on social welfare. They're both on the dole. And the dad was rich, by the way. I don't know how the dad was rich. I think he had an okay job and he slipped on a ladder one time, smacked his head off a tin of paint, and was able to sue one of these paint companies, something like that. But one of the brothers, what they do is they would get their social welfare every Friday, and then they would head into one of the casinos in the city, and they would conjoin their social welfare, and they would put it all on one of the colors. They put it all on red or whatever, or black. And, if they won, they were fucking crushing it. Cigarettes for the boys, Chinese takeout, let's go. If they lost, they would go home and watch TV, and that's what they would just do for the week. They would just watch TV. That was their life. That was the way they considered making it big. Was Friday was the day they went and earned their stripes. They would go sign on, get €270, head into a city ran by some Russian mafia people, put it all on red, and then with their winnings they would splash out with some Chinese food for dinner. Anyway, that family. But I think that with the Jimmy could have been like a professional. That's how far he could throw the stones. By the way, we know he could throw the stones furthest because there was a school that we would throw stones at our schools. That's what you do in Dublin when you're growing up in, pretty much all over the country, is just you throw stones at public buildings. Few pastimes more popular than smashing public windows, whether it's a school or a hospital or whatever it may be, but not uncommon. I've been watching a lot of the Olympics, and I think the reason why I like the Olympics is because when it's sort of over, the athletes that you're watching, they go back and they sleep in their car. These people have pursued one of the most pointless things in the world. It's like, I'm a professional runner. Wow. Could you contribute less in any... People are like, these athletes deserve to get paid. Do they? The girl who came ninth in the second qualifiers of the Olympics. Like, some of these Olympic athletes are like, if you don't have a medal, I feel like we're equal. I'm an Olympian. Yes, but where's the medal? You didn't even come in the top 200 of whatever that fucking thing was. Either did I. You know what? You're barely part of the thing. Running, congratulations. You will have health defects for the rest of your life because of you've starved your body. Running. Just some little girl from Kazakhstan goes out, doesn't qualify, and then she goes home and she sleeps on the floor in the shed somewhere because she pursued one of the dumbest things of all time. I truly believe I could have been an Olympic athlete, by the way. I've been watching all these sports. I think, look, yeah, sure, this guy is great. Sure, this guy is amazing. But he's also tried to be an Olympic athlete. Have any of us ever really tried that? Like the NFL, the NBA, professional football, soccer, if you're a fucking dope. Everyone's pursued that. Everyone has, loads of people have really tried their best to be that thing. So then you go, right, that is the best. But some of this stuff where you're shooting and you're swimming and you're jumping and all that, like, who's actually really given that a good, honest effort? I think I could do it. I genuinely think, had I just not done anything else for the last... I'm 35, 34 now. I might have missed my opportunity, sure. But had I just 20 years ago not done anything else, I think I could have made it. But I'm done with it now. It's way too long. It's been on for 4 or 5 weeks now. We're getting, like, it's just like, how many sports is there? How many medals? How much gold could you have possibly supplied to these athletes? You know, we got some Simone Biles. I like the little girl. She's a little fucking weirdo. She's a little fucking freak. That's what this is what the Olympics is. It's a game. It's a tournament for freaks. Right? Doesn't she look like some sort of Disney character or maybe like a gecko when you go to like a tropical, when you go to a tropical climate and you have those little lizards that run, like there's something about, and I like her. But she's a little fucking weird. She's a little weirdo. She does her flips. And then you have other people on the other end of the spectrum, which is, some Hungarian, like some fucking Bulgarian weightlifter. He can lift like 28 tons or something like that. That's all he can do. It's just it's the gathering of the freaks, right? Step right up, 2 bits of silver. Check out this little freak, 4'1", little black chick who's gonna do a quadruple, triple jump, twirl. And look at this big guy lift the thing. If this was 1,000 years ago, those like the big athletes would have eaten the little athletes. That's what I'm saying is. The guys that lift the heavy weights would have had Simone Biles as a delicacy. She would have been they would have her as a sandwich. Little Simone Biles. I like Simone Biles. She's a little pixie. That's what she is. Simone Biles is a little pixie. She probably has a little bag of dust. She's like she's like a little critter that can spin around a lot. But the coverage has been bad of the. This is why I don't like it. The coverage of the fucking Olympics is bad. It costs billions, right? It cost 1.7 billion or something like that to clean the river of shit, the Seine, right? I was on the Seine before, whatever. Been to Paris twice. I'm cultured, you're scum. That's what I use the Patreon money for. I go to Paris. I frequent Paris. But the Seine was so dirty because when it was built, they just have all the countryside just shits into the Seine. Everywhere, like all the towns and cities or villages on the top north of Paris just shit into that river and it flies down. That's what they say. It's the city of love, right? Paris, the most romantic city in the world. Let's get a photo in front of the Eiffel Tower. And a smell of shit wafts by. That's one thing you need to know about Paris. Next time you see someone getting engaged by the Champs-Elysees, just know there's a smell of arse floating through the air. 1.7 billion to clean that thing. I'll be honest, I don't think athletes deserve that. I think they should have just swam in the shit water. 1.7 billion. And it didn't even work. There was still fucking E. coli and shit. And some triathlon girl or something said that she swam underneath the bridge and something grabbed her foot. Quasimodo was in the water. I think an athlete, if you're an athlete, are you really? Yeah, well, swim in the shit then. I want to see the Catalan guy have to wipe a lump of poo off his shoe when he gets out of the water and tries to get on his bike. 1.7 billion to clean that thing. Is it going to stay that way? I just can't imagine that unless less of a fucking... Anyway, the videos have not been good. The replays and all this shit during this Olympics has not been good. I watched the 100-meter sprint. Noah Lyles, he won by a pubic hair versus another guy. A pubic hair and he won. And he's out there celebrating, and they get the result on the big screen TV. And now we're just watching a guy run around a track with an American flag, and we haven't seen the replay at home. Like, has no one ever worked in sports before? A lot of the stuff is also stupid. It's like they have like these archery events or they have these shooting events. You know, it went viral. Some guy with a hand in his pocket. It's gone viral. I was like, ooh, zaddy. Because he looks fucking cool. He should have done it sideways. You should hold the gun sideways. But they have the archery, but they don't show you how far it is. They have the shooting, but they don't show you how far it is. Give us a fucking wide shot, Frenchies. Give us a fucking wide shot. I need to know how far this is. I need a scale. Do you understand that? The people at home don't know what the fuck we're doing. According to you, it's just some fucking Asian girl who kind of looks like a robot because of, and that's not racist, it's because of the, it's because of the guns or whatever, and she has like some weird eyepiece on, and then they have in the bottom corner just the bullseye or whatever they're aiming for. They don't tell you how small that is. They don't tell you how far it is. And then we have to go, I'm online, I see people going, look how far the archery is. And go, yeah, where's the wide shot? Same with the swimming. These guys, they have this thing on the swimming where it's like, the guy 11.5 miles per hour or whatever. And it's telling you up and down the thing. I don't know what the scale is, or what the speed is, but they're telling you. But I don't know what that means, man. Who thought that was a good idea to show us how fast each person's going? I don't know what speed that is supposed to be good. You need someone, we need something in there. I suggest in the swimming events that in the middle lane, they just have some fat dude in a float with a fucking cracking open an all-day IPA. That's what I want to see. I want to see Ledecky fucking fly past some dude in a unicorn float with an IPA in a koozie. Is someone's drunk uncle out there to fucking be, and you could reward that. That could be like a prize. You get to win being the fat guy in the pool so that the people at home know exactly how fast these fucks are going. That's how you do it. But we're getting to the bottom of the barrel now. We're getting to the bottom of the fucking barrel. It's just, it hasn't been shot well. I'm done with it now. I don't give a fuck anymore. I thought I was into it. I was getting into it. Simone Biles, do your little twirl. She was a victim, but she fucking powered through. Do your little twirl. I was into it. I was all into it. Spin around. Do a thing. Throw the yoke. But to be honest, after a while, I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Tennis shouldn't be in there. Golf shouldn't be in there. Anything that you judge on points, by the way, kind of not really a fucking sport, I would argue. You know what? I kind of just argue. As a game, you need definitive winners and losers. I don't want to know that some Russian dude downscored some Ukrainian bitch after she did a quadruple whatever. You know, I don't want someone to be like, pretty damn good twirl, but I didn't like her eyebrows. She's getting deducted a point. There needs to be like a ball in a thing. You know, there needs to be a ball in the thing. I will say, actually, just so you know, if you did know, the marathon that's running in the marathon. Obviously, you know the marathon. It's where it all comes from. Some ancient Greek bullshit. Some guy ran from, Athens to some other part of Olympia, probably, and gave warning that the fucking Italians were coming or some shit like that, and then he died. And then we all run marathons now when we're going through our midlife crisis, and we were afraid that we didn't achieve enough. But they're doing the marathon this year, and the main guy who's going to win it, he died. I wrote down his fucking name so I wouldn't forget this. Oh yeah, Kelvin Kiptum. He was a dude that was going to break the sub 2 hour marathon. No one's ever ran a marathon in less than 2 hours. That's a lie, actually. One guy did it, but it was not. It was like it was kind of staged, Some little guy from Kenya, obviously. I don't know why Kenyans are so good at this shit. Someone told me it's because like they have higher altitude there, so they have like bigger lung capacity. But wouldn't that mean all the fuckers from Mount Everest in the Nepal, wouldn't they be fucking fast as shit? Shouldn't there be a couple of like Eskimo looking Sherpas running around the track too? I don't know. But he ran, so the only person who ever run a marathon in less than 2 hours, he did it, but he also had a group of black guys around him. I'm just telling you how it is. He was a black guy from Kenya, and he had a group of other Kenyans around him, and they would like protect him from the wind. The whole goal was like they would protect him from the wind so that he could keep his energy, and they were getting subbed out. It was also on flat land in Greece, I believe, too, so it wasn't a real marathon. So he ran a sub 2 hour marathon, but they put the conditions in his favor. This guy, Kiptum, had ran a 2 hour 35 or something recently, and this was going to be his Olympics, but then they crashed the car, and He crashed his car this year and hit his head off a tree and now he's dead. Right? So we could have got a sub 2-hour marathon this year, but we didn't. And something's not right about that. Look, I don't know this guy. I don't know what his beliefs are. I wouldn't be surprised if something happened. He was sponsored by Adidas, but Nike wanted to fucking take him out or something like that. So are the Clintons involved? That's whenever I hear someone dies now, I go, step one, why are the Clintons involved in this? So that's some information. They were supposed to have a fucking a new world record holder, but they didn't. And that's the only time I'm watching. That's one thing I've learned about the Olympics too. I want world records. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Truly, it's about records. I don't care that you're the fastest man alive. Are you fast and Usain Bolt? I'm not going to watch it. I've already seen that. You know? It's about records and that's all it is. So, but fair play, let your kids watch it. Remind your kids that they shouldn't be fat, by the way. Just reminder to all the parents out there, force your kids into athletics, whether they like it or not. Put them in some goofy thing like the hurdles. And don't have fat kids. It's really all I want to say about that. RFK. I don't even know what's going on here with the things are pretty nutty right now, all right? You got the stock crash going on. People are throwing themselves out of buildings again. Presidential elections are coming up. Trump almost got assassinated. We forgot about that. Kamala Harris is in there. She's mentioning VPs. Fucking Trump's VP. Fucking tried to have sex with his couch or something like that. RFK, who's still just floating around as an independent or something. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, but it's time to give him. Just give him the show, right? That's how I feel about RFK at this point. Just give him the show. Just give him the show. I don't see what else has he got in the future other than a reality TV show with his wife, the Kennedys, on TMZ or some shit. Just give him the show. All right. Reminds me of like when that episode of Louis when he sees that old lady peeping out the fucking apartment and he's like, just show me. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, get all over with and show me. And then she flashes her tits and goes, you pervert. By the way, I watched that fucking documentary on Louis. We could talk about that later. I'll save that for the Patreon. But RFK, apparently he found a dead bear on the ground and then dumped it in Central Park. He's like, I found this little black bear and I dumped it in Central Park. This is a real thing. Give him the show. Him and Cheryl. They just need a show. Let them have the show. The CIA killed my fucking family or whatever they've done. I don't really know anything about that, but that's what I'm told. People I respect say it. Just give him the show. It's like he's not going to win. I don't know why he's like anti-vaccines, but he's like anti-Hamas. It's like such a weird little part of whatever he's doing it. But, I'm glad he's still around. I want to see him debate Kamala. Yes, I'll debate you. Yes. We did it then. We'll do it now. Yes. We're going to win, y'all. Which is very funny. I don't know if you heard that fucking... I saw on Twitter the clip of Kamala Harris fucking being all Southern all of a sudden. We're going to win 2024, y'all. I like two things. I like three things in this world. I like beer, I like trucks, and I like this country. We're going to win 2024, y'all. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Something to boo. And she elected this new kid called Waltz as his VP, and he came out and called Vance. He said, I'd love to debate Vance if he could get off the couch. Pew, 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 pew. Let me see. Whatever. I tried to fucking fix this, but tried to press the button, but it didn't work. Anyway, yeah. So I guess this guy, the VP's been fucking this couch. Whatever. Trump's VP's fucked this couch, which is, the only thing you can do now at this point is just come out and say, yeah, I fucked the couch. I think you'll win more fans than you lose. Personally. You'll always be known as the couch fucking guy, but you know what? I think most dudes have put their dick in something at one point. Some inanimate object, they tried to fuck it. And, you know, we can all be holier than thou and say we haven't tried to slip it in the crack of a couch. You know, get up on the lazy boy. Pause. Get up on the lazy boy. I think that's why he goes, look, I did not have sexual relations with that sofa. But he needs to just come out and do it. Right? I do kind of feel it's such a weird world, because this is my second election that I've had to live through in America, and how much it gets gobbled up, and people pretend like they don't care, but they do care. We all got their discussions. If you live in a non-swing state, I truly am baffled about how invested you are in this. You're like, it does not matter. Just waiting for the results and then figure it out then. But like, spending the next 6 months or how long it takes watching every single little news report and reading all these little articles, it's just such a waste of your time. Just chill out and find out which way Arizona swings. Right? It has nothing to do with you. Also, I don't trust. By the way, I'm not even going to talk about this every week. I'll try and I'll do my best not to, but sometimes you just got it. But I find it hard to respect anyone that loves the Republicans or loves the Democrats. I just don't understand how you as a human can be like on board. As far as I can see, as an outsider who's just moved here 10 years ago, and from what I've watched, is that it's just different colors of the same pieces of shit. And I don't mean racially with Kamala. I mean, it's the same thing. They're all just working for the big banks, and you're all just getting distracted with this fucking trans stuff. But it's like, look, and I don't mind you voting and going, that's my team. You know, I'm a Democrat, I'm a conservative. That stuff doesn't really, I get it, but it's the same way as if you fucking support West Bromwich Albion. If you say, hey, I support West Bromwich Albion, that's fine, but don't lie to me. Don't piss on me, tell me it's raining, you know? Don't tell me they're a good team. Don't tell me you're happy with it. Same with all of these stuff. Don't be fucking, we're the best Republican. If you go, I'd rather the country be red so they can fucking build a wall. But the rest of the shit I don't even agree with. Same with the Democrats or whatever it is. But don't fucking tell me that's your perfect fucking choice. Say you're fucked and you that's who you'd rather. The lesser of two evils. But don't pretend to me. If you're into it, like if you're into being a Republican or if you're into being a Democrat, you're a fucking dope. I think so. I really truly believe that those parties just match all of your beliefs across the board. And you love them. You loved Obama. You loved when he bombed all those kids in the Middle East. You love how he for some guy who got paid like 28. What's the president get paid? 15 grand a year. How they're all he owns a $400 million house in Martha's Vineyard or something. Like you just like all those questions don't even get answered. Whatever. Who am I turning into fucking some conspiracy guy? But yeah, huge stock crash. This is how it all is. It's hot take season. And that's what it is. It's hot take season. And get them in while you can. Get the stock crash. One of these nice things about me is whenever there's a stock crash, it doesn't bother me at all because I'm so poor. I've no money invested in anything. The only money I've invested, I technically have money invested in Chase because I owe them so much money. But other than that, you know, I don't have any. So the market's swing and all that stuff, it doesn't really bother me. Sure, it might someday down the line, but I don't want to know, blah, 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 blah. But that's for smarter people to understand, right? If you're poor, it doesn't bother you because you don't have any fucking money invested in it. And if you're rich, the stock doesn't matter. The stock crash, the market crash doesn't bother you either because you knew it was about to happen. You were informed last week that they're about to crash them. So you sold everything. It's the middle fuckers It's the workers and the middle fuckers that all get their retirement fund swiped out. Anyway, yeah, welcome to the podcast, although we're probably half an hour in now after all that Simone Biles talk. Solo pod today. Don't do a lot more. If you like, if any of this is tickling your cock, feel free to head over to patreon.com/Colum Tyrrell. You can get an extra episode like this every single week. I don't sit down like this, like a news program, and deliver it like to a camera. I just sort of walk around my room with a couple of notes and my microphone. But look, we just hit 800 subscribers or something like that. We got the Patreon goal for which was when we hit 800 subscribers. I'm gonna head down to a Phillies game, tailgate with some Eagles fans, catch the game. I'll record it all. I'll probably interview some people, do things like that, and we'll post it exclusively on the Patreon. So head over there. It's only $1 a week, or you can get it. Sorry, $1 a month, or you can get it for 10.08 for the year. Shout out to the 10.08. Come see me on the road. I've got a bunch of dates coming up. I'm in Port Charlotte, Jacksonville, Cincinnati, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Gonna be in Nashville, Memphis, Las Vegas for Skankfest, Burlington, Vermont, Galway, Ireland. Loads of dates. Go to columtyrrell.com for all those dates. But most importantly, head over to patreon.com. Support the pod. And now we need a new goal. So if you have an idea of what a new goal should be, please let me know. Loads of people asking me about these race wars in the UK. Oi, oi. It's all fucking kicking off. Come on, then. That's England in a nutshell, by the way. First of all, everything I see on Twitter is just people going, England have had enough. They're kicking off. England have been rioting pretty much every summer since I was a child. As young as I can remember, England have... Have you ever watched This Is England? Like, and in the 80s, it's always been a racial... Tommy Tiernan, one of the best Irish comedians of all time, he used to have that joke about England has a terrible habit of conquering the world and then being really pissed off when those people follow them back. And it's true. That's just sort of what it is. I think I do believe the English are, on average, the dumbest people on the planet. I'm not saying that you all are, but I think, on average, dipshits. They cannot point. They don't know the difference between England, Wales, Scotland. They don't know what the UK is. They don't know Britain. They don't know what Europe is. They don't know anything. They don't know their history, their future. They don't know anything. All they know is how to spread themselves with fake tan, get lip injections, and then take it in the ass off a soccer player. Take it up the arse off a football player. And so that he buys you a handbag. That's all they do over there. But they riot. That's what it's in the system. It's in their blood. It's in the blood. I don't know how many times England have gone to other countries and just fuck shit up, but they don't really do that as much anymore. So now you've got this post-colonialism culture where it's clashing. They have it in their DNA. They have it used to be you would go to India and you would kill a bunch of kids in a village and take all their gold. Now you're in Coventry and you smash in the door of a Foot Locker and steal a bunch of left-sided shoes. You know, it's the same thing. They used to go all across. They used to be in battles. There would be war. Now there's not. It's the drones. This is what they don't talk about, technology, you know? Drones and stuff. That's put a lot of people that should be dying in the Middle East, a lot of English people that should be dying in the Middle East, that those jobs are gone. So now they're just walking around Birmingham going, and their life stinks. Obviously, you're in Birmingham. You know, that there should be like a sort of a public, there should be like a public warning, or the government should have like almost like signs to say, hey, warning, you are now entering Birmingham. Don't breathe in, put on a mask, don't stay in here. Not everyone, but if you stay here long enough, you will show signs of being from Birmingham. You stop talking. You're such a drool, and you're from Birmingham. And everything's guy, you're from Birmingham. All your football teams stink, and it's great. You're from Birmingham. It's like Chernobyl, man. You're better off going over to fucking Chernobyl than spending time in Birmingham. And your life stinks, and then so, of course, your life is bad. So then you see a brown guy across the street. That doesn't make it better. I'm just telling you. It definitely doesn't make it better. I'll tell you one thing about anyone's life. If you're a poor white and suddenly there's a brown guy across the street, it's not making your life better. It's just not making my life better, because I'm about to get a kebab and then I'm going to go back to New York. But you're stuck in Birmingham. And I don't really know what's going on there. I'm sure it's just a bunch of poor cunts who are misplacing their hate towards immigrants when it should be the people in charge. Okay? That's what it should be. You've got it mixed up here. It's supposed to be pro-Arab, anti the other ones. Okay? I'm playing around. But obviously, look, I saw some videos, but that is England. All these people, that's what they do. These are just, I watched a video, just one dude in like Ipswich, and he was standing in the beer garden and like the smoking area of a pub, and like 200 dudes in fucking balaclavas walked by, and they were all like, come on, and they were like, you know me, or whatever the fucking English shit that they're. As soon, like, it's a riot, but it's also very much an English riot in the sense that they're all wearing their football hooligan shirts. It's the same as a Millwall hooligan. And they're like, come on, then you fucking... Even when they have their race wars between the mussies and the whites, it's always like, come on, then you fucking want some. And that's within them. That's in the British blood. Just years of battling and wiping out smaller countries has that just passed on. You know, they say that with rats. They proved that trauma's generational. They did that with rats. I didn't believe this would be true, but Google it, right? They did it with rats where they had a little bell or something, and they fucking electrocuted a couple of rats. And every time they rang the bell, they electrocuted them. Every time they rang the bell, they electrocuted them. So then whenever they ring the bell, all the rats would freak out because they'd be spazzing. Then they would let the rats give birth. They would take these kids to a new cage, never let them speak to each other. Come along with the bell, ding-a-ling-a-ling. That rat started spazzing. So what they took from that is that all this trauma and stuff that your other people in your bloodline have experience is passed on. That's what they say. And I think that's the same with the English. When they used to, you know, just march through the Philippines or wherever they were taking over. That's what it was. It was always like, come on then. That's how they did it. You think it used to be, but it was like, come on then, you fucking cunt. Let's go if you think you're hard enough. Let's fucking go. See you, I'll cut you out first, mate. So anyway, look, I always welcome a little bit of a civil war. It's good. It cleans out the blood every now and again. I wouldn't be involved in it, but truly, if you think it's racist, go have a look at Birmingham and go, it's the least of your worries there, buddy. It's the least of your worries. You know, and they do have a lot of Arabs moving in, and I will say, probably that's a high octane bunch to move in. Traditionally, traditionally, culturally, it's very different. They have a different language. They look different. They may smell different. Look, I'm just telling you what you already know. I'm telling you what you already know. It's apparently according to them, whites smell like stale milk. I'll take it. So like it's a dirty bunch, and these English people, they don't like English. They don't even like speaking English, reading English. So they're struggling communication already. And then you're coming in with your la 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 or whatever. So I can see why it's all kicking off. It's all fucking kicking off here. But again, mostly just 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds who want to just want to loot. They want to fight. It's happening in Dublin all the time. You've got this Coolock first. We don't want these fucking immigrants coming over here to Coolock. Coolock, by the way, is a neighborhood that is still in black and white. It's an old neighborhood. Coolock is a neighborhood that where you, if you had a piece of shit car, you would go and park it there and leave it there overnight. And then one of the boys from my parents are from Coolock. It is a shit hut, but one of the kids will have stolen your car and then you can claim insurance off it. That's what Coolock is. And they're going, we don't want these fucking immigrants coming in there. Just so you know, that's where we put the shit. The immigrants are shit and the poor people are shit. That's why you're getting mixed up. They go, send it to the rich neighborhoods. So you go, no, we can't do that. You're not allowed in the rich neighborhoods. Why would we put the immigrants there? I do think it's all just misplaced hate, right? That's all I say with that. But, you know, if you're out there rioting, make sure you get some nice stuff. Don't forget to steal something for your ma. It's always a good thing. Steal some stuff for your mother. She'll like it. It's coming from a good place. She'll allow you to keep going out and stealing and rioting a little bit more if you come home with a nice little stolen watch for your mother. Join the 1008. Be one of the boys, and then you can win yourself a free shirt. This is a good one. Coming in from Christian Glenn. What's the cringiest thing you've ever done for a girl? Wrote a poem, sung a song, sent weird, sexy dick pics, etc. Something that still pops in your head and makes your skin crawl. Damn, I'm trying to think what that... We've all done things, right? Nearly everything that... It doesn't have to be that extreme, but nearly everything on that list I've done. Pretty much any situation of pursuing a chick, you probably behave in a corny, goofy fucking way. Right? Or at least we used to. That's why Tinder and all these stuff now, online dating, all of that stuff is gone. We've removed, everything is cringe. Writing poetry now as a 34-year-old, I think that's pretty sick. Not like roses are red, my balls are blue. Let's share some beers and I'll come all over you, huh? You can have that one, folks. But I don't know. Have I written a poem? I don't think I've ever written a poem for anyone. I used to do this thing when I was a kid, like this cryptic poem thing. You know when you would write the super X's and or swastikas on your copybook when you're in school? You would draw the super S's. But I came up with something. I was seeing some girl, friend of mine still to this day, but we were dating. She was my official girlfriend, but we were both 14, 15, something like that. We broke up. And then after that, I regretted breaking up. And then, so I guess I was like still in love with her, or at least what I thought was in love for a 14-year-old, which is a 14-year-old being in love is just literally a chick touching your cock is like enough for you to be like, this is it. This is an angel. This is, how did she know? How did she know that that was my spot? That's exactly where I like to be touched. If God didn't send her here with that message, you know, what are you telling me here? And that still stands to this day, by the way. If there's like for the 4% of women that are listening, the red pilled fucking legends, right, that want to learn, because that's what we are here, a educational podcast for the broads, is that still touching his dick helps a lot. It won't. You're not the full package, because you can all do that, but doing it a lot does help. We will like you more for that. So in my diary, I created this like sort of a design that I knew was like my initials, and it also said something. It said something like CT still loves whatever, and I used to doodle that thing in my thing, and I was always like, so like, I'm saying my feelings, and no one. It was just gay as shit. Just crazy. What the fuck was going on in that? What else did you have? I remember I wrote some chick. I met some girl on vacation on holiday in Spain years and years ago, and I did write her a letter saying I loved her or something, and I think she wrote me something back, and then I just never replied to her. That's how life runs when you're 16. I was like watching that Love Island show, where it's all like, oh, bombshell has entered the villa. And they're like, oh, he's absolutely gorgeous. And then they go on a date, they go on a date out by the pool. And they're like, I haven't been in a relationship for 7 years. And I haven't been in a relationship for 7 years. We've got so much in fucking common. If you put me on, and then like people aren't matching, if you just sent me to Fiji, on this island, they send a bunch of whores. Right? Men whores, female whores. That's not a sexist remark. These are just a bunch of whores. Whether it's a fame whore or the old traditional too many dicks whores. But they don't end up together all the time. And you go, bro, if you sent me to Fiji with an old, obese, crusty, fat black man with dreadlocks, I will be in love with that guy by the end of the week. The rain is coming down hard now. I don't know if you guys can hear that through the mic, but that's the legendary that's the nightlight that I tell. You know that story where I attacked my fiance, almost killed her? That's the nightlight that's in it. I can't repeat that story one more time. But anyway, in Fiji, on the show Love Island, they send them there, and then they all have to meet each other, and they're all young, they're in their 20s, they're all shredded, they want to fuck. It's like, I get it, but they're not allowed to have their phones. If you took away my phone and all technology and just left me in a Fiji apartment with anything, we'll be proposed by the end of the week. We are engaged to be married. That is a fact. He's like, plum the clat, Colum. Me don't like you that way. And I go, sorry, it was... I thought I was feeling something. My dopamine levels are so low from not being allowed on my phone. The breeze is beautiful. The sand is nice. Damien, pull your cock out. Come on. Me not bum the clat. You batty boy. Anyway, so I think I've done that. I wrote a song for my ex-girlfriend on a guitar. Again, that was just sort of me learning 3 chords, and I kind of just put something together, and I kind of wrote her something shitty, but that was never... It was more like sort of... It wasn't like I set out with the intention of, like, let me write a romantic song for this bitch. I was trying to learn the guitar. And she just happened to be around at the time. So I did do that. But I have a lot, I think, of just cringy moments. I remember some chick I was seeing broke up with me, and then we went to... we met up in like Starbucks in the city, and we went our separate ways. And I remember then being really cringy, kind of just being like, this could work for us. I wasn't crying. I was not crying. But I was like, just tell me what we had wasn't good. You're lying if you didn't feel that. Like I did that, a whole lot of that. And If I had that on video, that would be a $500 Patreon tier video. That would be worth it. As soon as we get to 1,000 Patreon subscribers, that would be the video to release, the long-awaited release of Colum being a little bitch. But I don't know. I'm cringy all the time. My whole life I've been cringy. I'm more cringy with stuff now with comedians, asking them to do my shows or asking can I get on their podcast and things like that. That's more cringy than anything else. If you ask me, that's more cringy than anything else. But great question there, buddy. Christian Glenn. Anyone have any similar things? You guys fucking sound off. All right, here we go. Another one from Chris Statut. All right. I have a friend whose wife was a middle school teacher. When we were younger, she was an absolute whore. They got married, had a couple of kids. Let me put these headphones back on. They got married, had a couple of kids, and were living the dream. Fast forward 10 years, and she got pregnant by a 13-year-old. What? Fast forward 10 years, and she got pregnant by a 13-year-old, left him with the kids, and started a new life with a minor. My question to you is, should I still hang out with this guy, or is he going to snap one day and school shoot up the bar? All right. Well, I don't think this is true. Is it? Is no way this is. I do appreciate the questions, but I can't even. There's no way this is based in reality. Some married chick. Because how many people could this have happened to? Isn't this the plot of some TV show? Where that girl with the open mouth, remember she used to be in with Kevin Spacey in House of Cards. Mama's Gumba, always be doober doop. But there was one of the actresses in that. She went on to play some pedophile female, and I think this is just I think you've hit me with just the plot of a major movie. His wife, when we were younger, she was an absolute whore. By the way, you just threw that in. That's when we were younger, she was an absolute whore. That's that. That didn't have anything to do with the. That didn't help us at all. That was just some backstory. They got married, had a couple of kids. Not really. If your boy's your boy, you're supposed to let him hang out. I don't know what you're supposed to. It sounds like the only bad person in this whole story is you, brother. Your boy's wife left him, and now you're about to be like, what a lot of dipshit. Who's your wife? Where are your kids? What are you doing? Other than probably making up these stories, sending them in on Patreon. 13-year-olds, are they firing blanks? What are they doing? Pretty fucking funny. To be 20 years old with a 7-year-old, like that's pretty funny. Like that Adam Sandler movie where you let them all get the tattoos all over them. But yeah, look, as fake as I think this question is, and I will say, Eric, maybe we could do a little bit of a screening maybe next time on that one. But yeah, if your boy gets cheated on, you gotta just be like, all women are whores, dude. You know what? Don't let it get to you. Be a good father. Move on with your life. Because there's no world where you're not the good guy. Now you're just being grand. Because you're. This is the thing. The truth is your friend might be a piece of fucking shit. He might be a dickhead. He might have been cheating also. Who knows what the fuck is going on there? But he might not have cleaned the house much. May not earn much good money. But now he's just in the history books as what a great guy. What a solid guy. Devastated, but you know what? He held it together for the kids. At the end of the day, the kids are what's important. And I don't mean the person that my ex-wife is now fucking. I don't mean that kid. I mean the other kids. I mean the kids. Imagine if you're like 15 and your man left to fucking ride someone younger than you. Wouldn't you beat the living fuck out of the kid? Wouldn't you? Are you allowed to beat up a kid if he's fucking your wife? I don't know what the rules are there, but relatively okay question. Let's get another question in because the truth is I didn't believe that to be true. All right, this one comes in with your here we go. This is from Danny K. What is something expensive you've had or experienced that actually lived up to the hype around it? I don't know about that, man. I don't know. What's something expensive you've had or experienced that actually lived up to the hype around it? I don't know. I've been bumped up to first class. And that's, the ones that they bump me up to, mediocre. You know what I mean? Is it worth the money? I don't think so. I'm fucking down the back, raw dogging. Just bang. Put it on. By the way, that you've heard about this raw dogging thing that they do on planes now? As like a test of your, I don't know, some sort of old school Buddhist. That's what they used to do. The Buddhists would go up into like, and monks would go into castles and they wouldn't speak and they wouldn't do anything for a couple of years as a sign of devotion and testing themselves for the Lord Jesus Christ. And now the new one is when you have a transatlantic flight, you put on the flight tracker map and then you fly. And you watch that. You don't watch a movie. You don't talk to anyone. You don't listen to it. And you just stare at that. That's it. You stay awake. No neck pillow. Nothing. You just David Goggins. Like there's a David Goggins light, but it's more for like TikTok. It's not actually that difficult. It's more like just stupid than anything else. But yeah, that's how I roll on the place. So I will say first class is overrated. Having said that, I haven't flown internationally on the first class. Like I haven't had one of those beds where you can close the cabin and fucking rip one out. Has anyone ever been fucking thrown off a plane for rubbing one out in one of those cabins? Like, what's the official rule? Like, did they say that? Little signs? No touchy. Like when you go into the fucking legit massage parlor, and there's like a sign on the wall that says no touchy. Do they have that in Delta 1 or whatever it is up there? I'll say what, I've spent money over. The only thing I really spend money on that I can really think of is I buy a bunch of horseshit equipment. I'm always buying, they're like toys, like cameras and audio recording things and stuff like that. I'm always spending money on that stuff, which I like doing. I'm always buying tools, even though I don't really do much around the house or I don't work in construction. But if I go into Home Depot, I'm picking myself up some sort of a sanding drill or like a sander or some sort of a drill set or something. Who knows what it is, but I don't need it. That's what I'll do. Home Depot will buy a lot of shit. B&H will buy a lot of electronics. But honestly, the only thing I go out for that I would consider expensive is going out for dinner with me missus. And that's probably one of my favorite things in the world, going out for a nice, expensive dinner. And expensive for me is like, anything over 200 a head, you're talking expensive. And that's, I don't know, it depends on who you're talking to. But I've never regretted that. Sometimes I'll leave a spot and go, there's no way that was worth that much. But it's never like so bad that I don't think I shouldn't have spent anything. If it's a $500 meal, I might go maybe $450, $400, but I never regret going to a fucking nice restaurant and eating and spending a week's fucking wages on that. Just never have. And that's the way you live it. As a minimalist in this world, they say, hey, look, don't forget about the flashy car. Forget about the fucking flashy shirts and all that stuff. Buy yourself some nice Wagyu steaks. All right, we're going to wrap up the pod there. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it. Goodbye. God bless.